Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and welcome back to this sliced Sudoku puzzle pack, which is a puzzle pack of sandwich Sudoku, though you're near the end of it now, so you should be fully aware of that. This is Rainbow Sandwich by Myxo, and I need to start this video with an apology. I'm at the tail end of recording all of these puzzles now, so I've only got a few to go, and why... This is definitely going to be the antithesis of a blind solve, because while I did attempt a blind solve of this, or a moderate blind solve, I'd solved this a couple of months ago, I recorded this puzzle this morning and OBS was recording a still screen. It was showing the puzzle on the screen and everything was fine, but what I wasn't aware of is while I was actually solving the puzzle, OBS was just recording a still image and the entire solve was lost. So I've solved this puzzle previously today. So this is going to be very much just a walkthrough of the solve, because, I mean, I don't remember every single individual Sudoku step, but all of the key deductions are fairly clear in my mind, I think. And I'm really sorry about that, and I apologize to Myxo, but I had a good solve. I think it took me about 50 minutes, and unfortunately that was just lost. There is no way I could recover a video that was never properly recorded. So I'm just going to have to record it again, which does mean, unfortunately, what you're going to see now is something where I'm not going to have any moments really of discovery. But I am going to be able to present the puzzle to you, I hope. I'm really sorry. I don't like doing it this way. I don't mind not doing blind solves and being moderately familiar with some of the steps, but this is a puzzle I've literally solved a few hours ago, and I went away and I had a break and got some exercise and calmed down a little bit before I came back. I'm really sorry. But what I am not sorry about is being able to present what I know is a really good puzzle. So, of course, there'll be a link below to the puzzle and to the pack. But what I'm going to do now is go through the rules. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then this is a sandwich variant called rainbow sandwiches. So what we need to do is shade some cells in the grid in 2 different colors, such that there is exactly 1 cell of each color in every row and in every column and in every, does it say and in every box. Okay, so there'll be one cell of every color in every row, column, and box. Digits don't repeat within the same color. Clues outside the grid indicate the sum of the digits between the 2 colored cells in that row or column. So whatever the 2 colored cells are, so say there was a yellow and an orange here, these digits would sum to 18. And say that there was then an orange here, because we can't repeat colors in the row, these would sum to 22. And say we then put a yellow here, these would sum to 29. Which, yeah, that seems okay. And that's the way this works. But you can't, they will always have to be different. And of course, using the standard sandwich coloring I use, these would all be the green cells, because these couldn't be orange or yellow. So that's the way that the sandwich is going to work. The important thing to remember in this, however, is because digits won't repeat in these, 1 and 9 can be in the sandwich clues. So that's the way this is going to work. I'm going to restart the puzzle again to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, it is important to remember that you can use 9 in clues. So we can't just say, oh, this is a 35 clue, therefore these are the crusts and this is all filling. Not true. But what we can say is how many digits can be used in a 35 clue, or do you need to use in a 35 clue? Well, 9, 8, 7 is 24, doesn't get you there. Add 6 gets you to 30, doesn't get you there. Add 5 gets you to 35. So you need at least 5. So if this is a one of the 2 shaded cells, or the 2 bread, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 uses all of those. If we start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these must all be bread. Okay, fine, we've got that. Now we look at the next largest clue, which is probably this 29 clue. Well, 29, 9, 8, 7 is 24, add 5 is 29. So you need at least 4. So we could say 1, 2, 3, 4, that must be in. 1, 2, 3, 4, that must be in. We've already got that. That doesn't help us. 28 is the same though. It must be at least 4. because 987, which is 3, only gets us to 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This must be part of the filling. It cannot be one of the bread clues. 27 is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This must be filling. It cannot be bread. And now we want to relook at this 35 clue, because a 35 clue, these now can't be part of bread. They must be filling. So how did we count that before? Well, it had to be at least 5. And now we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These must be the bread clues, and these must be the filling. But you had to use at least 5 with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 to get to 35. So these are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a really, really clever and tricky opening. Now we want to look at, say, this 24 clue, because a 24 clue can only be done in 3 with 7, 8, 9, and we know the bread is right in the middle. So if it goes this way, it's going to be 3 in these 3 green in this direction, and all of these will be green. And if it goes this direction, these 3 will be green, and all of these will be green. So either way you do it, all of those are going to be green. Green it up. And the same with 22. 22 can't be done in 2. It has to be done at least 3. 22, the maximum is 17 with 8 and 9. So 22, if it goes this way, these will be green and all of those will be green. And if it goes right, these will be green and all of these will be green. Either way, all of those are green. Okay, now have a sip of coffee. Now, the next important step, and I hate doing it this way, but it is the way to do it, is if we go this way on this clue, and we make this orange, the 9 clue has a maximum length of 3. So the orange here would put a yellow here. We couldn't actually put the yellow down this far because you can't do 9 in 5 digits. So you can't make both of those bread. And the same if you go this way. If you went this way and made this orange, you couldn't make this the yellow because you can't make both of those bread because you can't do 2 in 5 digits. So you either go left on one and right on the, or you must go left on one and right on the other. You can't go the same direction on both. So if this one goes left, this one goes right. And if this one goes left, this one goes right. So which one goes which direction? Well, this 2 clue is important because if it goes right here, the only way to fulfill a 2 clue is with an individual 2. You can't use 1, 1. So it's a single digit summing to 2. And if you went right here, this would be orange, and then you'd have to go orange to yellow. But there's a 2 clue in row 3. So if we put a 2 here, how would we fulfill the 2 clue here? Because the 2 has to be between the 2 shaded cells. And if we put a 2 on the edge of the grid, it's not between the 2 shaded cells. So we can't go orange to yellow because then we couldn't fulfill this 2 clue. So this must be green, this must be the yellow, this must be the 2, and this must be the orange, making this green, making all of these green. And using the logic I just explained, this is green, this is now orange. Now, this can't go up because there'd be no room for the other crust. If this was yellow, this would be a 0 clue, and 9 must be done in at least 1 cell because it could be a single 9, but it has a maximum of 3. 4 cells, the minimum is 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't work. So the yellow must be in one of those 3, and these become green. Okay, now, now I need to remember. I do need to remember. It's obviously not as clear as I thought. Right, now, yeah, let's look at this 28 again. The 28 is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can now green all of those. And the 27 is the same because these have now become green. And now that these have become green, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just making sure this is actually recording this time, these all become green. Now, orange has to be in one of those, and yellow Sorry, I'm going to add a slash to those. And yellow has to be in one of those. So I can do Sudoku on yellow because I can't repeat yellow. I can't put yellow in here, but I need to put a clue in here and a clue in here for the 28. If I don't put a clue in here, then it just doesn't work. I can't put yellow here. I can't put yellow in any here. Yellow must be over here. So this is yellow. And now I can't put yellow and orange over here because that would mean this is a 0 clue. So orange is up here. So this is where orange is. These are now green and orange is down here. Not green, orange. Now I can look at this 5 clue, and I will be able to do the same up here, but let's look at the 5 clue first. If this was yellow, the minimum here would be 5. This would then have to be another digit, and I'd broken the 5 clue. So this can't be the yellow. This is green. This is actually the yellow. I need to have something between the yellow and the orange, or this 5 clue would actually be a 0 clue. So this becomes a green clue, and this becomes the orange, and between the yellow and the orange is 5. This is no longer 5. I can do the same logic up here. This can't be, orange can't go here, so orange must be up here. So this becomes, need to be in the right mode. This becomes orange. I need to have something over here. I can't put orange and yellow together. So yellow goes over here, and then these become green. Yellow must be over here now because I can't put yellow in any of these. So this is where yellow goes by Sudoku, and I've got the same logic. If this was orange, I'd blow the total. I'd have orange at least 5. This would have to be a negative digit before I hit yellow. This is not orange. This is green. This becomes the orange, and I need to have something between orange and yellow, or the 2 clue doesn't work. So this becomes green. This becomes yellow, and between the orange and the yellow, we know we have a digit summing to 2. And we get to this. Okay, now let's mark off some clues we've done. We've done the 2 clue, we've done the 35 clue, we've done the 5 clue, we've done the 2 clue. We can also mark off another clue because we've got these 3 digits which sum to 24. So these must be, in the right mode, 7, 8, 9, the only way to get to 24 in 3 digits. So we can also mark off the 24 clue. I may have not mentioned the reason these are, I mentioned in my first recording, the reason these are different colors is because it's called rainbow sandwich and I wanted to make a rainbow. So if anyone's wondering why those are yellow, that's why. So the next clue I want to look at is, sorry, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. And as I said, I did mention it the first time, but I forgot. So how many digits do you need to make a 29 clue now that this is orange? Well, you can 29, you can do it in 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these must all be green, but this seats orange and yellow. So this can't be the yellow cell. Now, let's look at yellow in this box. I must put yellow in one of these 3 cells in this box in order for there to be yellow in this column. But I must put yellow in one of these 3 cells in order for there to be a yellow for the 29 clue. So because yellow must go in one of those 3 cells and in one of those 3 cells, the only cell that meets that criteria is that cell right there. And that has to be 29. And the first time I did this, I thought, hang on, I've broken the puzzle. And then I remembered, no, because these digits are literally just the sum of the row minus this. You can do this in this puzzle, and this broke my brain the first time. I really thought I'd broken the puzzle because an entire row of a Sudoku contains all of the digits from 1 to 9. If you add those digits together, you get to 45. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 45. If you then subtract these 2 cells from 45, or you'd subtract these cells from 45, subtract 29 from 45, you end up with 16. So these 2 cells here need to sum to 16, which is possible in this grid. How do you get to 16? Well, you could do 9 plus 7. The next option is 8 plus 8, which doesn't work. So these have to be a 7-9 pair. And that blew my mind. I thought I'd broken the puzzle when I first saw that. The next thing I did is I said, well, this is yellow and this is orange. So these have to be green. And because this is a 9 clue, this has to be 2, 3, 4. Not true. You can use a 1 in a sandwich sum in this puzzle. So that was an important step. The next step took me a while to find, but I'm going to jump straight to it now. This is going to be a very short solve, and I do want to call out, hopefully I've called out, I've already solved this puzzle, and I feel terrible about the fact that the original video was lost. But literally, it was just recording a still image of the grid, and there was nothing I can do about it. I think it probably took me about 5 or 6 minutes to find this next bit, but it is the way it goes. There's nothing I can do. So the next bit was thinking about this 27 clue and this 28 clue, because these can be done in 4 or 5, but I realized I couldn't do these in 5. If I was to do this 27 clue in 5, it would mean these digits here were not the yellow or the orange. So I would uncolor those. But this yellow would then mean this is not the yellow. This orange would mean this is not the orange. And I would have to do this 28 clue in 3, which is not possible. The maximum for 3 is 24. And that logic is symmetrical. If I was to do this clue in 5, then this yellow would say this isn't yellow. This orange, whoops, I meant to delete that, would say this isn't yellow. This orange would say this isn't orange. And I would need to do the 27 in 3, but the maximum in 3 is 24. So I can never do these clues in 5. They must be done in 4. And then I thought about this 28 clue. The maximum that could be is 4, and I've only got 3 other digits to play with. And the maximum you can put in 3 digits is 24 with 7, 8, 9. So it had to be 7, 8, 9 with a 4. So this had to be 4, and the other filling digits had to be 7, 8, 9. So this became 7, 8, 9, that became 4. The 7, 8, 9 triple in the box made that a 6, and I could take 6 out of all of those. Now, I could also take 4 out of all of those, and then I could think about the 27 clue, because I'm aiming for 27 with 3 other digits, because I can't use a 5 long clue. So the maximum I can do in 3 other digits is 24 plus 3. So these must also be 7, 8, 9, and that must be a 3, and I can take 3 out of those. That is a brilliant part of this puzzle, and it took me a bit to find. Unfortunately, as I said, I'm just stuck with what I'm doing here. Now I noticed that 2, I think, had to go in one of those 2. I did get some, whereas 5, and then 5 can't go in any of those or any of these. So this is a 5, this is a 2. So these become 1, 3. And the 2 looks up, making this the 1, and I can't repeat digits in the color. So this becomes the 3, and this becomes the 1. And not being able to repeat digits in color is going to be a very important part of this puzzle. Now, the important question now I found was, which direction do these clues go in? Because I need to put a 7, 8, 9 either here or here or here or here. And if this one grew in this direction, I was broken. Because if this became a 7, 8, 9 to make this the orange and this the yellow, I would have 7, 8, 9 here. I'd have 7, 8, 9 here, and I wouldn't be able to put 7, 8, 9 into any of those cells because I'd have a 7, 8, 9 triple and a 7, 8, 9 triple. So none of those cells there could be 7, 8, 9, and I'd have to put 7, 8, 9 in 2 cells in row 7. So it can't go this way. So this cannot be a 7, 8, 9. Therefore, this had to be orange, this had to be green, this had to be the 7, 8, 9, which means this is green, this is yellow, looking up, saying this is not yellow, this is green, this is yellow, meaning this is green, and this is orange, making this 7, 8, 9. These now all become green, putting yellow in one of these 2. Yellow is also in one of these 2. Orange is in one of these 2. Orange is in one of these 2, and these all become green. Okay. Now, and you can resolve all of that by saying, I can't make this orange, or I'd have to do 18 in 2 digits. But the maximum even in this puzzle is 8 and 9, which is only 17. So this can't be orange. So this is green. This is orange, meaning this is green. This is orange. And now the 15 clue, if this was yellow, this would have to be a single digit, something to 15. So this is green, this is yellow, this is not yellow, this is green, this is yellow, and now I have all of the shaded cells. So I can select all of green, make the green go away, and we've now done with all of the coloring in the grid. Beautiful, beautiful opening. Now I'm only 17 minutes into this solve, but I shouldn't be doing it this fast. But I've still got a long way to go on this puzzle. Okay, admittedly, now I get to the tricky bit. So this can't be a 5, because if this is a 5, this would have to be a 10. So a 9 goes with a 6, an 8 goes with a 7, or a 7 goes with an 8, but I have a 7, 8, 9 triple in the column. So this must be 6, 9, and I can take 9 out of all of those. Okay, now I'm probably going to slow down now, because now we get to the tricky scanning part of the puzzle, and we all know how bad I am at that. There's no 7 here because of the 7, 9 pair in the row. There are a couple of tricks I do remember, which are going to help me speed up my solve this time. I hope, maybe. So this cell, maybe? So 3 can't be here. So 1 and 3 have to be over here, because what can this cell be? It can't be 1 because I've got a 1 in yellow. Can't be 2. It can't be 3. So it could be 4. It can't be 5. It could be 6. It can't be 7, 8, 9. So this is only 4 or 6. 1 and 3 must be over here, which means 1 and 3 must be over here. And now I can actually narrow this down, because 1, 3 and 5, 1, 3, 5, these are actually 1, 3 and 5. So that's an interesting triple, which means these are 2 and 6. Okay. Except 6 can't go in any of those cells. So by Sudoku, that's a 6, which makes that the 2 and that the 6. Okay. This cell now is quite restricted, because it sees 1, 2, 3. It could be 4. It can't be 5, it can't be 6, and it can't be 7, 8, 9. That is a naked single 4. Okay. So these are now a triple, which is 1, 3, 4, and this isn't a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are 7, 8, 9. And there must be a 4 in one of those two. Okay. I've done the 15 clue. The 29 clue is effectively done because I've got the two crusts. I've done the 28 clue. Okay. This is where I slow right down. All the way down. Is it this? This could be 1. It can't be 2, 3, 4. It could be 5 or 6. This can't be 1, 2. It could be 3. I don't know, that could be lots of stuff. I can't remember where to look. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 5. It can't be 6, 7, 8. This is only 5, 7, or 8. So that's a 5, 7, 8 triple. Is that right? I didn't find this last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 5, 7, 8 triple. So 7 is in one of those two. I did not find this last time. So this is a quadruple. 1, 2, well, hang on, that makes this a 3 by Sudoku. Oh, and it can't be 7, 8 because of the 7, 8, 9. That's a 5. So that's an 8 and that's a 7. I did not find that last time. These are 1, 2, and 4. I can't put 2 in orange because I've already got a 2 in orange. So 2 is in one of those two. That is cleaner than I found last time. The 7, 8 looks up making that the 5. That is cleaner than last time. I'll take it. So these are now 7, 8, 9 in yellow. That's not a 9. 1, these are 2 and 4. And there must be a 6 in one of those. And I can't put 2 in orange. That's 4, that's 2. I'm actually on a different path to last time. Now, there is a trick I could use right now, but I'm going to try and keep on the different path. 2, 2 means this is a 2. The 4 makes this the 1, which takes 1 out of here and here. And that 2, yeah, this is a different path, but I think it's cleaner than last time, which I quite like. What can this be as a 9 sum without a 2? Well, there's only 3 ways of doing 9 in 3. There's 1, 2, 6, 2, 3, 4. The only other option is 1, 3, 5. So this has to be 1, 3, 5. Now that's not a 5, that's not a 1, that's not a 5. So that's the 5, and this is a 1, 3. But the 1, 3, 5 is looking down, making that the 4. This is not a 4. This is a 1, 3 pair. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7, 8, 9. But a 22 clue in 3 must have a 9 in it. Because if it doesn't have a 9 in it, the maximum would be 6, 7, 8, which and 6, 7, 8 only gets to 21. So there must be a 9 in one of those 3 cells. And that is a 7, 8, 9 triple in orange. So this must be 3, 5, or 6, and it can't be 5. So this is a 3 or a 6. This is a different path, and it's cleaner, and I like it. Now, I think 2 is in one of those 2. If this is 2, these would have to sum to 16. They'd have to be 7, 9. But I think they could be. Do I need to jump to the trick I used last time? 5. Well, 5 is not in those or those. So 5 is looking down there. Because I'm on a slightly different path, I'm wondering if I can... Yeah, 5 is in one of those 2. That's not really helped. If that's a 5, that's a 5. And that would be a 5. If that's a 5... If this is a 5, yeah, this can't be a 5 because it sees both of those and they're the only cells in orange. So this is not a 5. That's a 1 or a 3. So there must be a 7 or an 8 in here. Absolutely. Because if I don't, the maximum, I must use a 9. But if I don't use a 7 or an 8, the maximum would be 5, 6, 9. And 5, 6, 9 is only 18. Because if I don't use a 7 or an 8 in here, I lose both 7 and 8. So the maximum would be 5, 6, 9. So then all of 7, 8, 9 are taken up in here. So I can't use 7, 8, 9 in any of those cells. And I can't use 7, 8, 9 there Yeah, this cell here is restricted. It could be 1, it can't be 2, 3, 4, it's 1, 5, 6, and it can't be 6. This is only a 1 or a 5. But I can't use 7, 8, 9 in any of those. I can't use 7, 8, 9 there or there, and that's not a 7, 8, 9. So this is a 7, 8, 9. And that's a 7, 8, 9 triple in this box. And I think I'm going to use the trick I found last time, although it did take me a bit to find. What I did last time is I investigated this triple and tried to find what would happen if I made this a 6, this would become a 5, this would become a 3, and see if that did anything. And I didn't find anything, but what I did find is if this is an 8, the puzzle breaks. Because if this is an 8, this becomes a 7, that becomes a 9, and with a 7 and a 9 there, that cell there has no fill. So this can't be an 8. And if this can't be an 8, that's a 7-9 pair, and that is an 8. So these are not 8, and that puts 8 into one of those two cells. That's a 7-9 pair, making that an 8. And now 8 is in one of these. Now I made this mistake last time, one of those 3 cells. But 8 and 8 means that is 8. So this is not 8. The 8 comes out of here. And now I've got a 7-9 pair in orange, which makes this 8, which means this isn't 8. Now how do we do this sum? Because there must be a 9 in it and there must be a 7 in it. And if there's a 9 and a 7 in it, then 9 and 7 sums to 16, and I need another 6. So this is 6, 7, 9. That is not the 5, that's the 5. And these are now known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if these are 3, 4, 5, that's a 1, that's a 6. The 6 looks down, making that the 3. The 3 looks down, making that the 5, which means this is not the 5. And that's a 7-9 pair. Slowly but surely unwinding the puzzle. The 8 looks down, saying that's not the 8. So this is a 7-9 pair, making that the 8. Taking 8 out of both of those, making that the 8. Taking 8 out of there. This is a 7-9 pair. So this is 4, 8. The 8 looks down, making that the 4 and that the 8. The 1 is looking down, making that the 3 and that the 1. The 3 is looking up, saying that's not a 3. The 4 is looking up. The 4 and the 5 are looking up, making that the 3. Slowly but surely. The 8 is looking up, taking 8 out of there. So this is the 8. The 22 clue is now done. The 9 clue is now done. I'd like to get more Sudoku done before I resolve this. If I can. I'm hoping. Because this is a little tricky. So this is 6, 7, or 9. I've done all the 8s. 6 is in one of these two by Sudoku. So these are 4, 5, 7, and 9, I think. So there's no 5 in either of these. 5 is down here. So where's 5 in this column? This is the 5, this is the 4. So these are 1, 2, 3. These are 4, 7, and 9. There's no 9 there. There's no 7 there. This is a triple because I've got a 7-9 pair. There must be a 5 in here and it's not in there. This is the 5. So what is this pair? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 6. This is 1 and 6. And these are 1, 2, 3. Yeah, these are 2 and 3. The 3 is looking across, making that the 2 and that the 3. So where now is 2 in this row? I can't put it here. This is a 2 and this is a 4 or a 7. I got more of this and I can't see how. I thought I did a lot more of this. Maybe I made this 3 looks down, making this the 1 and this the 3. So in this column, I'm missing 6, 7, and 9. Yeah, this is not the 2. So these are 6, 7, and 9. That is a 6, 7, 9 in this row. So this is also 1, 3. And the 3 is looking up, making this the 1 and this the 3. That means this is the 1, looking across, making this the 6 and this the 1. Oh, there's something in this row. The 2 is making that the 4, which is making that the 9, which makes that the 7 and that the 4. But the 7 is jumping to across the orange, making that the 9. Looking up, saying that's not the 9. The 9, something. The 7 is looking across, making that the 9 in yellow. That's the 7, but that jumps up, making that the 7, which makes that the 9, that the 7, taking 7 out of those. The 6, 9 pair looks down, making that the 7, that the 9. The 4 makes this the 2. This is not a 7. This is a 6. And the 4, 7 pair, the 7 makes that the 4, that the 7, making that the 6, making that the 9, that the 7. And the 7 and the 2 means that I'm missing 9, making that the 6. And the 7 looks down, making that the 9, and that the 7. And that's the solution to this puzzle. Solved about... Yeah, I've already liked this puzzle because I solved this a few hours ago, and unfortunately the recording didn't work. I'm really hoping this one does. I've checked my microphone level and I can see the puzzle solved on OBS this time. So that is the solution to Rainbow Sandwich. Done slightly different this time because I found things in a slightly different order. But realistically, most of the complex steps were solved the same way. The trick in column 5 was done the same way. The trick about none of these able to being 5-cell clues was done the same way. Realizing that this had to be the crusts had to be on the outside. The kind of one of these clues had to go one way and the other one had to go the other, and then the 2 forcing it. I already knew that was coming. The trick about this being an 8 was done. A lot of the rest of it was done in a different order. So I kind of got that differently. I definitely didn't resolve this as late as I did last time. Very, very interesting. The fact that I love that this puzzle can be solved in multiple different ways, but I did know what I was looking for. So please look at this one more as a guide rather than a solve. I'm really sorry. There is nothing I could do once the original one had been lost. But I'm still able to bring you the puzzle, and that's what matters. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you're enjoying the pack. And as always, good luck with your solving.